So a lot of comments from previous videos where we talk about Ukraine, Russia war and other current affairs. A lot of you are saying we need to keep the British Army at home, securing our own borders. And that's what we're going to be discussing today. I'm Craig, a former British soldier, and welcome to Combat Ready HQ. I hope you're all well. Thank you for all of you who've clicked on this video, shared, liked, commented, subscribed in the past. And a big shout out to all of our channel members. And if you do want to support the channel, then obviously you can become a channel member by clicking join below. But getting into today's video then, we're going to be trying looking at it from both sides. I'd like to get your thoughts on this. So please do comment below with the points that I'm putting across and what your thoughts are on this. You know, with everything, there is positives and there is negatives. So first of all then, looking at the positives. Enhanced security and border control. So as we know, the British Army operates a strict discipline policy. They go through basic training, they're highly disciplined, they have a clear chain of command, and luckily for them, we do have advanced technology. So all of that combined with the personnel numbers, it could really significantly strengthen our border. The presence could also deter criminal groups, because a lot of sort of asylum seekers coming in are possibly being smuggled. Not saying they are, but some of them could be smuggled. You could get possibly people being human trafficked, sex trafficked, etc. And having a military presence could obviously enhance that security and hopefully be sort of a deterrent to that. Also with the British Army then, they are rapid response. There is always some unit on some form of rapid response, whether that's domestically or overseas. Whether that's 24 hours, 5 days, 7 days notice to move. And obviously those notices can change. But that's a good thing about the Army. They don't work your standard hours. They are available 24/7. So if, say, in such seasons such as the spring, the summer, numbers start to pick up, you can quickly call upon the Army and bring them in and quickly deploy them. There's sort of an immediate response in a sense to help intercept boats. You've also got logistical sort of situations, handling emergencies. British Army, you know, they're great project managers, they're great at logistics, and they're great at just working last minute, spontaneously under pressure. So they'd definitely be good for that. Operational expertise. British Army don't just work in combat, okay? We actually do have a wide variation of expertise. We've obviously, in the past, we've dealt with firefighter strikes. Back in the day, you had the lads on Green Goddesses, ringing a bell, going around London and other places. We've dealt with the floods. They dealt with Corona. They've dealt with mad cow disease, or whatever it is. I think they deal with shortages within like the paramedics and ambulance services, plus everything else we do overseas, the combat in Afghanistan, Iraq, short-term training teams training other nations. You got nurses being deployed, you got logistical guys being deployed all around the world to help with a wide variety of situations. We've got the engineers that can come in and could build anything. You've got the health, so the medical side, the nurses, the field nurses that can bring in and build field hospitals and all sorts. So we've got a wide range of expertise. Not only that, we also have massive, obviously, expertise. Apart from sort of your private agencies around the UK, we are the #1 SMEs in surveillance and reconnaissance. So we could easily go into a location without being seen, or we could be seen if you want to have that presence. And we are experts in looking out into an area and sort of telling a picture back. So gathering in as much information as possible and relaying that back to the chain of command. So we've got a wide sort of extensive expertise in a wide range of things. But before we carry on, if you do want to continue to support the channel, like I said, you can become a channel member or head over to Combat Ready HQ, check out some of our t-shirts, some of our amazing coffee blends. I've got In the Shadows coffee here. It's a dark roast. You've got our mugs, so our thermal mugs, and a wide host of other things as well. But getting back into it then, What the Army is obviously good at with that expertise and that operational experience is we're good at supporting civilian agencies. Like I said, we've supported the fire service before, ambulance, paramedics. We've supported the police with floods and UK counter-terrorism issues. So we are brilliant at supporting other services. We can take on and adapt to any role pretty quickly. We'll get them in, go through some sort of short couple of weeks worth of training from the specialist agencies such as Border Force, and then they can sort of support in that sort of sense with extra manpower, whether that's taking in asylum seekers, taking in down their details, passing them on to the medics, the nurses, the engineers, like I said, building the tents, showing them to the tents, providing security on possible makeshift camps to take in sort of the migrants coming in. So there's a whole host that the British Army can do. And then the biggest one is just being a deterrence factor. I don't know if some of you have seen what's been going on in Poland. They've got a massive military presence on their border. So a visible military presence at key entry points such as Dover, Kent, other places where they're crossing the channel. It could act as a massive deterrent, not only ships, but if you have visible vehicles and personnel on the seafront, on the coast, it could be a possible deterrent. Okay, it's basically signifying that the UK is having a much tougher stance to protecting its borders, and hopefully it will discourage people coming over in boats. So they're the positives. Please do let me know if you think there are any more in the comments section below. What about some negatives? Using the military in such a stance is never a long-term solution. We need to figure out the root cause of the problem and deal with the root cause of the problem. Yes, short-term, mass amount personnel, kit and equipment, good like skilled personnel coming in. Yes, but what is the root cause of illegal immigration into UK? Please do comment below. Is it they're fleeing a dangerous country? Are our benefits too easy? Are we too easy at welcoming them in? You know, whatever it is, comment below. But we've got to deal with that root cause, and that's what the government needs to deal with. Big one, potential backlash. Deploying the military for immigration enforcement can be very controversial. Newspapers, other countries could sort of see it fundamentally as a humanitarian issue, and it could be an excessive force bringing in the military. I don't personally think it would be an excessive force, but I'd be interested to hear what you would say on that. But using the British Army and treating migrants as a security threat, rather than addressing the factors, as some people may call it, you know, could be excessive force. But I would possibly say it is a security threat. But we all have our own opinions. Resource diversion. So another point I've come up with as a possible negative is the British Army is used all around the world in many different tasks. Like I said, we protect our borders domestically and we go overseas. We are in so many countries, a lot of people wouldn't actually be able to name it. We do so many different jobs that you actually wouldn't really understand what the British Army do. So we're already stretched. We would struggle putting, 2,500 to 5,000 troops into Ukraine, let alone taking 1,000 or so to put them at our borders. You're taking away from those guys that are on rapid reaction, that are on, really important operational training, just in case they're going to be deployed overseas. They could be in Estonia, they could be in Poland. We could also, we've got people all over the place. So that's that resource. We're lacking kit and equipment as it is. We're trying to get in new vehicles, weapon systems. We've just given away a load of ammunition, etc. So that could be a massive issue. Legal and ethical concerns. This more sort of points back to sort of potential backlash. Soldiers are, some people would say soldiers are trained for combat and not law enforcement, which they're not. But we're not just trained for combat. We're trained for a whole host of issues to protect the nation. But what we're definitely not trained in is law enforcement. So when we were supporting the police, we always had to have a police officer with us because they knew the laws inside and out. We didn't. We were just there as personnel support for UK sort of counter defence. They had to deal with the legal side. So if there was ever an issue, we could help contain the issue, and then all the arrests and etc. that took place had to be done by the police. Same when it comes to illegal immigrants coming into the country. We could sort of collect them up, but we wouldn't be able to process them and handle them as such as the Border Force, because they're trained, they go through an intensive training course on understanding the Immigration and Asylum Act, etc., and how to actually handle illegal immigrants. So you've got legal and ethical concerns. We can be there as a support and manpower and get as many personnel in as possible. But when it comes to arrests and sort of handling, the British Army are just not trained in that. So there's some possible negatives, and we've had the positives. Could the British Army provide immediate support? Yes. Long term, you know what, sitting there thinking about it, long term we most probably could. You know, I don't know how many personnel you need if you just had them dotted around. If your borders are under threat, as some of you may be saying, then why would you not have a longer sort of term permanent presence on our borders? We do have an issue. We are struggling. So maybe the British Army do need to be brought in. Other terms, like I said, manpower, we are requested overseas and in other locations. Is it too strong a stance? I'd be very interested to know what you've got to say on this. Please do comment below. Very, very interesting to hear what you've got to say on this. But thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Please do remember, like I said, to like, share and subscribe. And I'll see you in future videos. Thank you.